Hey guys, Woody the Unexceptional Gamer, and yesterday I did a vid on the Xbox 720, annotation on the screen, and it brought in a ton of requests for me to do a similar vid for the PS4, and, well, I'm here to serve, so let's get started. I'll be talking about hardware, release dates, competitive positions, stuff like that, but let's start with some hardware. First rumor is the PS4 has 4 gigs of RAM. It's not set in stone. They're still, messing with the design specs to some extent. But the challenge there is that the Xbox 720 is going to have 8 gigs of RAM. That's just about confirmed. And 4 gigs of RAM on the PS4 makes it, a little low compared to there. And if you want to have games that are ported from the 720 over to the PS4, then, they're going to be troubles if they only have half the RAM. So that may force the PS4's hand and have them step up their game to match Xbox. But on the other hand, the GPUs in them, they're the opposite side of the coin there. I was blown away when I read about the PS4's GPU. If you're not like a PC gamer and maybe you don't follow this stuff, the PS4 has been linked to the 7970. The 7970 is the top of the hill GPU at the moment. That's it, right? If you're a gaming enthusiast, that's the one that you want. From NVIDIA, it's the 680, but the 7970, is a little bit faster this generation. It's just what it is. I have an NVIDIA card. I love NVIDIA. But if you're looking at your frames per second, then the 7970 is a little bit better right now. The fact that they're putting in the best card that exists into the PS4 compared to the Xbox 720, which is putting in not the best card and not even the best NVIDIA card, but probably their best mobile version that NVIDIA comes out with, it's like, all right, so that's kind of where it stacks up right now. The graphics card in the PS4 looks a little bit stronger, and the RAM in the Xbox is a little bit stronger. And, we'll see. The PS3 was bit by the RAM to some extent. Like, do you know why you guys don't have party chat? Because they don't have enough RAM. It's rumored, actually, that they both have half a gig of RAM, both the Xbox 360 and the PS3. But the thing is, the 360 has half a gig of RAM, and the PS3 has 2/4 gigs of RAM, which means that in your program you can only access certain things that you've stored in memory, like they're in separate houses, and you can only talk to people in your own house, and that makes it complicated to code for. And that's why you can't have things like party chat that exist across all the games, because there's just not enough RAM in that one house. It would have been easier to code for if they had a mansion instead of 2 cottages. I hope these analogies are working for you guys, because I'm stretching here. But anyway, yeah, 720 looks like more RAM. PS4 looks like better processor. That's where they are. But there's more. Release date. So this is something new. The 720, it looks like it's Christmas, and it's firm, and it's out there. The PS4, it looks like it's early 2014. Hopefully they can rush this and get things started. But, because I really want them all available for Christmas. That's what I want. I want a battle. I want next year the news agency, like CNN, to be talking about which console's leading in sales. And, I'm excited about that. I got caught camping with a sniper. But I'm excited about that. What I think is going to happen instead is the Xbox 720 is going to be selling months before the PS4, and then regardless of how well the PS4 does out of the gate, people will be saying, well, more Xbox 720s have been sold, which will be kind of true because they've been selling them longer. And so they're saying that the PS4 isn't going to give the Xbox the same kind of market advantage, like the time alone that they did in the last generation. Because if you don't remember, the PS3 came out significantly later than the 360. They're saying that this time it'll be a little bit later. But yeah, it looks like no PS4 for Christmas, and that is a real bummer to me because I wanted it. Pricing. So look, pricing rumors are really unreliable right now. I don't think there's anyone on the planet that knows, right? There's people that have guesses and strategies and such, but as far as knows, I don't even think the companies have decided. But the Xbox 720 has been rumored to come out at around $200 or $300, something fairly affordable. And the PS4 is rumored to be higher, like $400 or $500, or maybe even more. And that's a tricky thing. And then sometimes when they do this, they make it like $400 or $500 and then 400 or 500 pounds, which isn't fair to our European friends. But that's also what they've done before. So it exists all over. It happens in cameras too. I don't understand why. But back on topic, it looks like maybe $300 for a 720 and $400 or $500 for a PS4. And we'll see if that impacts sales or what it does. One thing is Microsoft makes money, and Sony loses money, which, you know, I only bring up because it means that even at $400 or $500, I'm hearing the PS4 will be sold at a loss. But the way the console, the business operation works is that they sell the console at a loss, and then they take a cut of every game, and they charge for development kits and stuff like that. So they'd be losing money on every hardware sale, but making it up as the games move in. My point is that Sony, as a company that's not profitable at the moment, can't afford to lose that much money on every console, even though, of course, in the long run, it'll be a good idea. It'll be awesome for them to, to be making money on the games. And if you win the console wars, there's a lot of money to be had in that. That's just the deal. But they can't lose too much today because they're not in that kind of position. This one's kind of an anti-rumor, but it was rumored that the PS4 would support 4K resolution, and that might not mean a lot to my non-nerds who are listening, because they're used to terms like 1080p, and they roughly know what it means. How many horizontal lines are on the screen, but they're switching from like what I'll call the P nomenclature to the K. And if you wanted to translate it, 1080p means 1.92K. So 4K will be roughly twice as much resolution as a 1080p display that you're used to looking at now. And by the way, you might think you're playing in 1080p, but it's upscaled. They take a 560p image today and upscale it and make it 1080p. So you're kind of just stretching it out and making it smoother. You guys have zoomed in on pictures before. It's roughly the same thing. It's a little smarter than zooming in, but work with me here. So they upscale like a 560p picture with some exceptions. Like I know Uncharted 2, at least, probably Uncharted 3 and beyond, were in like literal 720p, and people look at those games and say, wow, they're amazing. It's one of the best looking games ever. Well, 720p is now going to look like junk compared to what's on both new consoles, because they'll run in 1080p. But 4K, they're saying that was never true. And it's been reported a bunch of places. Heck, it's been reported here because, I don't really research the news. I just report to you like what I find online and stuff. But that's the deal. So they're going to go from today's equivalent of 560p to tomorrow's true 1080p, but not 4K, which, again, 1080p is like 2K. Another thing, and this is true of both the Xbox 720, what's going to be the Steam console, and the PS4, it won't play used games. What they're going to do, from what I'm reading, is they're going to associate the game with your gamer tag or PSN or whatever you want to call it, and there will be no more used game market. And I predict that this goes over just like it did in the PC world. If you don't know, on Steam now, this is where a lot of people get their PC games. I think it's fair to say most. They let you just download a game and it's associated with your login, and that's the deal. At first, people hated Steam. At first, people were like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. I deserve a disc. I have a license to this, etc. Once I own it, I should be able to resell it. Now, people love Steam because the digital model allows them more flexibility in their pricing. They hold these sales. They find that the service is actually pretty good. And hopefully, the consoles manage to match what people like about Steam, which is, like, heck, right now, if you're selling discs, it's hard to just lower the price everywhere. It's hard to get like every Target and Walmart and GameStop to adjust to a new price, and they just sort of stay the same price forever. Where on the PC world, they can be like, all right, Left 4 Dead maybe at release is worth $60, but 4 months later we should be selling it for $30 if we expect people to buy this game. It would be neat if that happened in the console world too. And I get that you're losing your used game revenue, but let's be real. I mean, weren't you always disappointed by that every single time anyway? Like, I know I would. I have like a bucket full of used games and they're worth 75 cents each, and some they won't even take. That's been my used game selling experience, so it doesn't really matter too much that the used game market is going to be over. That's my take on it anyway. But yeah, that's true across every console, so no fanboy wars there. Oh, another thing, probably not backwards compatible with the PS3. So like, a lot of people care about backwards compatibility a ton. Like, it's a super big deal to them. To me personally, like, I don't know. I rarely play last year's games. I usually kind of stay on the current ones. They're more interesting to me. So that's just the way it is. But a lot of other people get super upset that their games no longer work. They expect these consoles to stay backwards compatible. But I think that notion is going to start fading out of the public consciousness. That's what I'm going for. And and they just won't have this expectation that games are backwards compatible anymore. That's the deal. Because I don't think the Xbox is doing it. I really doubt this. Of course, Steam has no backwards compatibility. It's brand new, and the PS4 doesn't do it, and PS3 hasn't done it for a long time. I don't even know if the Xbox 360 currently runs old Xbox games, but backwards compatibility, used games, stuff like that will be a thing of the past. So I hope you learned something new about the PS4 in this video, and maybe the Xbox 720, and have a good day. All right, if you liked the video, be sure to click on like. If you're new around here, click subscribe in the top right corner, and you can see future videos from me. On the screen, 2 videos you may have missed. The left one, What's Been on My Mind. It was kind of a late night commentary I made last night. And on the right, Xbox 720 news and thoughts, which is like the equivalent of this one, but more about the Xbox.